और मैं मतलब I don't think about any film.
Okay, thank you.
Two quick questions. That's about it. Very quick questions.
Okay, Farhan, have you saw or have you experienced anything about कभी आसपास किसी महिला के साथ कुछ गलत हो रहा है? क्या सुना है आपने?
फिल्में नीचे
मतलब फॉर्चुनेटली मैंने मतलब ऐसे अपनी आंखों से तो कभी कुछ देखा है नहीं. कभी अगर कुछ ज़रा सा अग्रेशन या कुछ मैंने देखा है टुवर्ड्स अ वुमेन, आई मीन ऑफ कोर्स हम सब वहाँ हैं, वी काइंड ऑफ इंटरवीन्ड इफ वी नीडेड टू. बहुत बार ऐसे भी हुआ है कि मतलब औरत वंडरफुल दैट शी स्टैंड्स अप फॉर सेल्फ एंड टेल्स हूएवर स्ट्रगलिंग हर टू लीव एंड दे मोर ऑफन देन नॉट डू. सो ये भी हुआ है, लेकिन ऐसा कभी मैंने कोई ऐसी घटना नहीं देखी है जिसमें मतलब ऐसा लगा है कि बहुत सीरियस होने वाला है. ऐसा हुआ.
लास्ट वन.
एक सवाल है जो थोड़ा हटकर है, सॉरी. अभी आमिर खान की जो फिल्में आती हैं या अमिताभ बच्चन की जो फिल्में आती हैं, वो फिल्मों की जो मार्केटिंग स्ट्रैटेजी होती है वो डिफरेंट होती है. आप जब भी
नहीं, this is not the right place. This is not the right place.
Thank you so much.
I'm sitting between, I must be an envy of a lot of people, sitting between these two gentlemen who are thought leaders in their field, who are leaders and leading the change that we believe in. Of course, he is our global, he is our ambassador, Goodwill ambassador of UN Women. We see you as the person that can reach out just by the things that you do to young men, but also to young women, because your role model status is about changing society. It's about talking the men so that they can represent the things that we want them to be. We have been touched by the work that you have done as an artist, as a screenwriter, as a songwriter, as a singer, as a poet. I'm so jealous, you've got so many talents. But the fact that you share your talents to change the world, I think, makes all of us feel that we're part of your life. We also are proud to make this announcement at this point in time, because next year, the Beijing platform of action will be 20 years old. That declaration is the most comprehensive promise by the governments of the world to women. And one of the things that the women said in Beijing already was that we must work with men and boys, and that we must work with the media. We didn't do enough of that in the last 20 years. We are waking up now, and we want to push this. And now that we've got social media and other mechanisms to reach out to many people in the world, we're combining the talents of the people like you, we're combining the talents of the people like you to reach out. In particular, we want the next generation to be different, and something that you say in your video as well. So what can I say? I would like us to look at the map, because when you become an advocate and you become part of he for she, you actually enter your name and you make an agreement that you're going to be standing up for gender equality, and you get an ID and a number that makes you a he for she. And I'm sure someone is going to show this on the map.
Thank you so much. I'm now handing it over to Sachin for kicking off a very lively discussion about women, women's empowerment, and he for she.
The focus has always been on women and how women can come to the forefront. Now, with he for she and events like these or movements like these, there's a focus which is shifting towards men and boys. How will this shift affect the movement for gender equality? One. Two, if the patriarchal society in India is so deep-rooted, in India for instance, is deep-rooted, how difficult is it to change that mindset?
Good evening everyone. Firstly, I just would like to say thank you to everyone at the UN, you in particular, for this wonderful honor today. It really has been something that I have been focusing on for the last 2.5 years, and I feel that this really broadens the horizon and encourages me further down this path. To answer your question, yeah, I mean, for a long time, people have thought of gender violence, gender equality as a female issue. But that really is not the case, because a lot of the prejudice, a lot of the violence against women comes from men. So if we start preventing rather than curing, I think we're going to end up with a society that's a lot more healthy, and with a lot less crime, a lot less discrimination that we'll have to deal with. So I do feel that it's also a men's problem, it's also a male problem, and that's really where the initiative Mard was focusing on, is to reach out to young boys and young men to get them involved. Sorry, what was your second question?
I was talking about the patriarchal society in India and how difficult is it to change the mindset, given that, you know, your reach of Mard, for instance, is mostly in the urban areas. But
you know, that's not necessarily true. You know, we've really been traveling around to many places. I mean, we have to, of course, meet, we have to find venues where we can meet with a lot of young people. That ends up being colleges more often than not. But it's not colleges only that are in metros. So we've done over 50 concerts now. They've been from cities like Mumbai to cities like Ranchi, you know, just various other places, wherever we can get students in number to speak to them. So it's reaching out to them via our communication personally when we go there. It's reaching them through music that we're creating. It's reaching them through the social media, which really everybody is on now, regardless of where they live. But yeah, patriarchy is something, it's a mindset that all of us have grown up with. But it's important that when we as a generation have realized that there is something wrong in thinking that way, or in further propagating that mindset, that we start making a change now. There may be some people who are too far gone, and it may be difficult to change them. But if we focus on children, if we focus on education, I think going forward on a generation to generation basis, we'll see a huge change.
Thank you, Farhan. Dr. Phumzile, the next question is to you. It will be 20 years next year for the Beijing Declaration. What are the next steps? You said that there have been, you know, steps taken so far, but there's still a long way to go. What in your assessment are the next steps so that 2015 is not just another milestone, but something that is a call for action, something on the ground, something that can be concretely, you know, shown in society?
To the right people to represent Mard. Beyond that, we're doing artistic collaborations. So there's one song which was called Chule Asman, which was just out. And that again is with artists who are coming to us more than us going to them, you know, and saying we want to be part of this. We feel the same way as you. If there's any way we can contribute, and that's what we're hoping to do, is create more creative content. So be it music, be it art, you know, be it short films. That's really a direction that I would like to move with Mard, and of course for the UN He for She program.
And that continues with UN Women's, the collaboration that you will have with UN Women. Yeah. Dr. Phumzile, one of the issues that people in India talk about is economic empowerment of women. There are a lot of women who are poor and they're completely dependent on their husbands or their families for their daily livelihood. How will this movement and how will this organization collaborate with governments and, you know, on-ground bodies to raise the level of economic empowerment of 2 years, you said, on these issues? Are there any specific messages that you want to give, or you always give to youngsters, especially those who are growing up, you know, who are in college, who are in high school, so that they can become better human beings, not just better men, but better human beings when they grow up, when they start a family, when they begin to work, when they start their own business? How does the whole format work?
You know, I don't know if I can tell somebody how to become a better human being. You know, it's if they get inspired by anything we do in our lives, that I guess is good enough. But the thing really that we focus on is giving them a certain parameter on which they can base their concept of masculinity on. I think all of us, when we grew up, nobody went and spoke I don't know anyone who went and spoke to their parents and said, how do I know if I'm a man now? Nobody tells you these things. You just take in what you see from pop culture, from what's happening around you, how your parents are with each other, your family environment. And based on what's going on, you decide at one point that, okay, I now think like this, I behave like this, I'm feeling romantic towards someone, so I'll copy this actor that I like and I'll go and say it. I'll sing this song. And you slowly but surely start creating this image of what being a man is all about. I also felt that there was a point where what that concept is started getting a bit skewed. Because for a lot of young men and a lot of boys, what we were seeing, because entertainment has changed, music has changed, statements that are made from people who are in responsible positions, at times those statements are very unbecoming, so you don't know what you can take from it. In terms of whether you're talking about how women should dress, do women bring violence onto themselves because of being out at night when they shouldn't be, by having cell phones, by wearing jeans, these various ridiculous things. So young boys and young men take all this in, so now some of them may get influenced by it and some may not. But the fact is, what we do is we go out and we just kind of tell them about a certain kind of a concept that we've created of what you can use if you want to call yourself a man. And that most importantly involves thinking of everyone as equal. And that involves, of course, women in it as well. So that's really what it is, and that's the message that we put out every single time we go out and speak to students.